team, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Throwing on first down. Spurlock. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick-6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quick.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Touchdown.
Tell you what, they're not messing around. You get the quick touchdown, and then you go for 2 to go up 8-0 here on the road.
In a sense, they hit them with a big shot right away. You don't throw a jab after you throw the haymaker, right? Go ahead and go for 2. They did. They're in control.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick-6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick-6, the first thing we want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
To throw on second down, Spurlock. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So the Eagles now, they'll be in great position here to start things out. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, what all comes loose, and is the video convincing? So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The numbers for McLaurin a week ago. 4 catches, 57 yards.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes, stretched, dreamed, going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch every one thrown today.
You're right. They have struggled 32 of 32 in that category. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the big shots downfield.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. The 40. Past the 20.
Bring it, baby, bring it.
And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Following the fumble recovery. David. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
8 yards the gain on that ladder running out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Spurlock. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
You try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Cross button. Triangle button. Cross
on
button.
1st down,
Square
David.
button.
Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, if you want plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have the running around the field. These guys know where they stand.
And now off to the races down the right side.
Oh, yeah, that's how we do it.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator Right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So the two-point conversion trend continues, at least as far as trying those goes. They've attempted them after all 3 touchdowns, CD, and converted now 2 of them.
They're not just dipping their toe in the water, are they? I mean, they're committed to going for 2 points, and 2 out of 3, now with a 22-0 lead. In a sense, they're a little bit ahead of the curve, because normally it would be 21, wouldn't it?
And with the way their defense is playing, I don't know if it matters if they do convert any of these. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Spurlock. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the gun on 3rd down, Spurlock got an open man, finds Gibson. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Spurlock. Thomas has got it. Complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players, knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. He finds an opening past the 40. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. 75 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get